Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Akulmac Technologies and welcome to Top Brass. And today friends, we are on a CEO roundtable and I have been joined by our guests today from different parts of the world. So let me introduce our guest. Our first guest is Mr. Neville Goon. He is joining us from UK. Welcome to CEO roundtable, Neville.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. Looking forward to an in-depth discussion, as usual, on a Friday.
Absolutely. And our second guest is Ms. Farida Charania. She joins us from Singapore. She is the CEO of Career Zoom. Welcome to the roundtable, Farida.
Thank you, CK. I am so looking forward to this discussion. Thank you.
And our third guest is Ms. Kanchan Verma. She is the CEO of Akulmac Technologies and she joins us from India. Welcome to roundtable, Kanchan.
Thank you, CK, and good morning to everybody. Look forward for an interesting discussion today.
Certainly. So I think the entire world has already gotten used to the COVID era. People have started using the digital medium as much as possible. Some are prepared fully, some are planning for it, and some are still not planning for it. So I think the world more or less is gearing up for the post-COVID era. And hence, in today's CEO roundtable, we would like to discuss the next steps. What happens from now on, because now we know that COVID is going to stay. Countries and states who declared that they are COVID free, and suddenly the COVID is returning to those countries and states. So I think our prediction was right. COVID is here to stay, and we cannot stay at home. I mean, we can stay at home, but we need to get our business running. So that is where our discussion point is, and hence the first question is, the business environment is changing at a very fast pace, and the skills gap is also widening at an exponential rate, because there was already a skills gap, and in the COVID era we identified that there are a lot of skills which are required, new skills, and hence that is adding to the skills gap, and that is why the overall skill gap globally is widening now. So in terms of what workforce should do to stay relevant, and how businesses create new job opportunities, identifying the new skilled workforce which is available today. So Neville, would you like to go ahead with that? What is your response on this one?
Huge question, isn't it? I mean, the first thing is we've been talking about the skills gap for years. It's been accentuated by COVID, and it's been more in the news since we hear about universities not going back to last year's way of teaching. So now there's going to be a lot more remote teaching that's going on in universities, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. What that's meant, and I think there was a couple of announcements over the last month or so that has probably gone unnoticed. One of which is Google are going into the market and doing their own degree course. I don't know if any of you had heard that, but it sort of slipped under the radar. IBM and Microsoft have had all their technical online courses for years, and McDonald's have also had their own academy. So when you see the McDonald's stars, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, it's because each of their employees have gone through the Google Academy. See, I've already got the Google one buzzing in my mind here. They've gone through the McDonald's Academy. And I, for many years, have said, if you're a young person, go and get a job at McDonald's, because they teach you how to flip burgers, but they teach you the whole gamut of customer service, and you become really good at the customer service arena, because 40% of jobs are in the customer service arena anyway. So we're going through an accelerated pandemic now, I think, in this gap that now people are focusing on. But why they're focusing on it is interesting, because the other part of your question was, where can companies go now? Well, lots of organisations, and I hear it on not just on the UK TV, but America and in Europe, and I'm sure it's in other parts of the world, redundancies are increasing. The big retail outlets are now letting go of people. We're talking about household brand names, Marks and Spencer's, which is sort of world renowned, although it's not all over the world, is losing staff. Why? Not because of COVID, interestingly enough, it's because of consumer behaviour. COVID has accelerated some consumer behaviour, but fundamentally that consumer behaviour was already here. So we're in a challenging time, and I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't got an answer to the question. But what we do know is that organisations need to start to work in reality, and I think that's the basic part of my answer. But equally, let's not be too complacent about this skills gap, because it is almost as big as the Pacific Ocean now. It no longer is it the size of the Mississippi River. It is oceanic. So I'll drop that bombshell as we start, because that maybe prompt a few thought processes going through, and let's hear what everyone else has got to say.
So it's a great answer, and I was using the word called widening, but I think you've put it in right perspective. It is a Pacific Ocean. So Kanchan, what do you think? We have discussed that what are the skills required, and the soft skills are now becoming hard skills. So in the previous sessions we have discussed that. But in terms of the business recalibration, what people should do now so that they can utilize the people who are enthusiastic enough and acquiring new skills?
Okay, I have been listening to Nebel, and he has mentioned a customer behavior, one point. And I would like to elaborate on that, because now the scene is that all organizations and companies should think and rethink how to retain the employees. And for that, according to the scenario which is here, they have to train and retrain their employees to retain them. That is one. Second is that they have to be rethinking about how to really capture this negative and turn into positive. Now, when we are talking about turning into positive, that means we should have more of digitization. People should learn more. Now, when Neville mentioned about customer behavior, so the job of BPOs, we have a lot of potential in that sector. So that we should capitalize on that. So I will little differ when we talk about that, though this is pandemic and there are crises, but then how to utilize this crisis for the benefit of the business, that is we have to think about. Now, when we are talking about BPO, then education sector is something which has a lot of potential and lot of employment. Now, when we are teaching students, then we also have to put forward how to go on teaching to the students from maybe nursery to graduation. What are the modes? How can we utilize virtual reality into that? So all this, if we think and we combine it, that will create a lot of job opportunities for the people. Now gone are the days when we have to be like engineering or doctors. Doctors, of course, is required, because health sector is also have booming. We require health doctors and nurses to take care of patients. So this sector is also have lot of job opportunities. So when now the education system should turn into the ways where we can capitalize on digitization, technology, artificial intelligence, and come out with more robust setup, and that will definitely create job opportunities.
So,
What?
Kanchan, you gave a great answer. You mentioned things like virtual reality and artificial intelligence. And I would like to now turn the focus on Farida, because I think some of these subjects are very favorite to her and she has spent a lot of her time in this industry. But before I come to Farida, I would like to give you little information about what has happened last week in India with regard to the AI. Prime Minister of India had announced that the income tax department will become completely faceless. That means if somebody is being assessed, the income tax officer will not know the person or individual by any means. And suppose the file is being processed, then next time somebody else will process. So the allotment of who will work on income tax SSC files will be determined by the AI. So this is the first time probably happening in the world where it's completely faceless, completely managed by artificial intelligence, and any grievance you have, it has to be submitted to income tax department in a digital format, and the decision will be taken. So the idea is, since there is no human to human intervention, then there is no you can't have a backdoor setup done, and hence you would tend to be more genuine, and you will be honest. So they are using AI, and India has so many taxpayers, probably the largest taxpayer community in the world, probably one of the largest. So it's a huge deal, it's a big deal. So, what is your take on this, considering that the new set of business are emerging now?
Okay. Thank you, CK. First of all, let me just kind of, put forth some thoughts, because this has been coming to my mind recently with all the people that I've been interacting, etc. Firstly, I question the old normalcy everyone seems to be on, because the neck quick speed of, forever chasing something new, hurting people and planet in the process, lack of trust and empathy for science and for people should anyways not have been normal. So my first hope, and something that I really really think would be great if it happens, when the vaccine is found, or